Covert tactical operations, deep sea missions, underwater bomb disposal. This is the dangerous and secretive world of the Navy's elite clearance divers. One of the most extreme military jobs in the world. To become clearance divers, candidates must first conquer the Navy's most intense training program. It will take them to the limits of their mental and physical endurance. Only the toughest will make it.
Do you want to be seen as the guy who comes last on this Evolution 24?
12 months ago, 27 candidates tackled the gruelling clearance diver assessment test.
Let's go, Five! Get your fins off!
Only 14 made it. They became members of basic course number 67, and the real work started.
Up at 5:30, PT for an hour. We'll dive up to lunch, have lunch, and then dive again.
With each phase of their training, the men have endured extreme conditions, sleep deprivation, and relentless drills. They've been taken to the edge of their physical and psychological resolve.
I know every one of us has wanted to turn around and just put one on the chin of the instructors.
For the group's oldest member, ex-rugby league player Gareth Foy, it's been especially challenging.
I've sort of questioned myself if this is the right thing for me. You know, there's that spark and that little flame there, but you just don't know whether you can do it or not.
Now, within weeks of their graduation, they face the most dangerous phase of their training.
Firing!
The members of Basic Clearance Divers Course number 67 are being transported to a remote tropical location off the Queensland coast. Triangular Island in Shoalwater Bay has been used by the Australian Navy as a demolitions training ground for more than 40 years. For the next 3 weeks, the men will share the island with several other groups completing different stages of their training. A major part of their job involves using high explosives, or HE, to remove obstructions and clear underwater passages. This demolitions phase is the part of the course the men have been waiting for, and they've got 30 tonnes of artillery shells and bombs to play with.
These are the biggest pieces of ordnance we have on the island. General purpose, Mark 82, 500-pound bombs, filled with HE. A lot of the students love to see these when these function, especially when detonated underwater. These make a very big hole, yes.
It's a large-scale exercise. More than 50 men will live under canvas, entirely self-sufficient, supplied with more than 20 tonnes of fuel, food and drinking water.
Sort of making a bit of a resort out of the place, as much as you can. Probably sleep 10, maybe 12 blokes in here each night, I reckon.
Triangular Island's isolation provides the Navy with an ideal training ground. A huge tidal range creates a variety of surface and underwater demolition sites. But living and working on the island is not easy. It's hot, sticky and infested with mosquitoes and sandflies. And then, of course, there's the mud. Within hours of their arrival, the trainees get their first taste of it. A 1 kilometre slog dragging a 500-pound bomb that's become a Triangular Island tradition. Gut-busting activities are constant in the men's training, building strength and teamwork. But they take their toll, especially on the group's oldest man, Gareth Foy.
In what I've done in my past, I've fallen short of a few marks that I've set for myself. Sort of do a little bit of soul searching and you think, well, I was 34 years of age and I thought to myself, Jesus, is this as good as it gets? Barring injury and all the rest of it, I just tightened the mind. But I've also tried to enjoy every day and not look at the finish line at the same time. is beautiful, original 100% Shellwater Bay mud. They say that it can reverse the ageing process by about 10 years, so there you go.
The island gives the men a good idea of the sorts of conditions they'll face on a real deployment. Accommodation is cramped, their clothes are permanently wet and muddy, and with no fresh water to wash in, they've been forced to think of creative ways to keep clean.
Boys all got some baby wipes to bring along because we don't get showers at all. We've been washing off in the students' pool, so they call it.
And now I've got the baby powder. How good's that?
The time arrives when the men finally get to blow something up. The training begins with plastic explosive, a nuts and bolts tool they'll use later to trigger much larger explosions. They must learn to handle it with speed and accuracy.
We're just going to slowly ramp it up over the next few days, get them to a point where they're happy dealing with 500-pound bombs. So, and confidently, that's the main thing, and safely. They're each priming a separate charge, just 2 to 3 sticks of plastic explosives. Then the cords coming out the back of them is also explosives. It's a detonation cord. We run this detonation line, and everyone that's primed to charge now will connect into that main line, and then we initiate the main line from the bunker.
Nothing better than setting charges to a main line. Something that you know is going to blow the hell out of this area. This is awesome.
That's what they all love, to blow things up. I love to blow things up, so, but who doesn't?
To avoid being hit by flying debris and fragmentation, all the men retire to the safety of the camp bunker. Only then can the most dangerous part of the operation begin. Small firing parties are dispatched carrying the volatile detonators and safety fuse, which will initiate the explosions. The safety fuse burns at a rate of 45 centimetres per minute, so the trainees have cut it to a length they calculate will give them more than enough time to walk safely back to the bunker.
We've set our walk time to 2 minutes 20, and so we had another 60 seconds for safety, and therefore so 3 minutes 20 all up. At the end of that, we should be in the bunker with a minute to spare, and big bang, hopefully.
Alright, so copy. Stand by to put fire on.
Stand by. Out pins.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Fire on.
If the men have been spot on with their calculations, then it should be possible to count down to the exact moment of detonation.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, training supervisor with the staff, go out to clear shots.
Clear shot.
Basic demolitions continue for several days. The men must develop a familiarity and self-assurance with the explosives. But at the same time, they must guard against the repetition of the task, making them overconfident and careless.
Fire on!
Fire on.
5.1, RSO copy, fire on.
Simple mistakes at this basic level of training can be life-threatening, as this firing party is about to find out.
Get inside, get inside. That is completely unsatisfactory. Alright, this is for real, play it for real, don't be complacent with it. The second you do that, someone's going to get hurt. For now, I want everyone out of here and to the briefing area, and I want staff to stay behind.
Before we were in the bunker, it detonated early, so it was about 40 seconds off of what it should have been.
Based on 3.5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to figure out if the safety fuse was cut incorrectly or not.
The measurements were double checked by everyone, and it was somehow cut short by the team. Okay, that's all we'll say on that. It won't happen again. So they didn't measure twice, cut once, as always been taught. They've measured, cut and incorrect. That was bottom line.
Make sure when you do your walk time, you add your minute and you do your maths. Jobs are only going to get bigger and bigger, more and more ordnance, and you're going to be pushing late into the night. You're really going to start getting very tired and the days are going to get longer. So it's up to you. You have to work swiftly but correctly.
To make matters worse, there's been another serious breach of safety. The fire, which disposes of the camp's grass cuttings and litter, has been left unattended. With so much high explosive on the island, this is potentially catastrophic.
So we're going to have a little bit of fun for the next half an hour, just to help you to reflect on doing the right thing and being careful about safety on the island, right? You've got 5 minutes to have a half full sandbag down on Big Bang Beach. Go. Grab your sandbag around the world. That's the map of the world right there. We're going to go on a holiday. Camouflage! We don't want to see ya! Hide! Camouflage! Still see ya! Above your head! A couple of these guys think it's funny. I'm hearing a bit of giggling going on down there. You blokes think this is funny? Arms straight! We'll keep going until everyone has their arms out straight. Out front! Above your head! Out front! Above your head! Back around the map of the world. You've got 2 minutes. Go! So we're going to do better, yeah? All right, carry on.
To reinforce the enormous power of the explosives they're dealing with, staff have arranged some graphic demonstrations. The explosive propellant in these 5-inch shells has been removed. All that remains is a small electronically fired primer.
So we've set up a little rig here with 2 nails and a battery source. You touch 1 nail on there, 1 nail anywhere around here, and that'll complete the circuit. Understand?
Stand by.
Not much kick in them. All you have to do is put your foot on it, touch the 2 corresponding points, and primer initiates.
Good work.
It just broadens their education on ordnance in the long term, and stuff that you don't get to see every day and people don't get to do every day. They always remember stuff like this.
Navy diver! Oh, be a Navy diver! Working all day to get the job done! Working all day to get the job done! You can beers with your oppos in the sun!
With the basics behind them, the trainees are ready to move on to much bigger things. For the rest of their time on the island, they'll be working exclusively underwater. Today's task involves setting a line of explosive charges in one of the island's boat channels.
Out there, you get the tides rip along here and you start to get pretty tired. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of long days. It's a lot harder working underwater and doing demolitions underwater.
Make sure you place, see the end you've got facing Harrow?
Yep.
That's the end I want seaward.
Okay.
The trainees work under the supervision of an advanced diver. All of them are being assessed by a member of the training staff. In this final phase of their course, everything they have learned over the past 9 months starts to come together. Their diving skills, their handling of explosives, and especially their ability to work under pressure with confidence and precision.
At the moment, we're just heading out to put fire on. Just finished firing brief, so we're on our way out to our firing point. And yeah, my job to go in the water.
Firing point 1 RSO, fit the charge. Over.
Roger, fit the charge.
To fit the charge, Todd has to attach the detonators and safety fuse to the main line of explosives laid by his teammates.
Stand by. 5, 4, 3.
2, 1, fire! Fire on! Fire on. Fire on.
RSO copy.
Touch right. Go.
The safety fuse has been cut to give the men 12 minutes to travel to a safe distance 2 kilometres offshore.
All I was thinking about at the start was doing the job, but after a while you sort of think about all the little things that might happen, they could happen. Sort of freaks you out a little bit.
Safety boat 1 and 2, RSO, confirm you're both holding position at 2,000 metres.
Safety boat 1 confirmed.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, time.
There's a problem. The detonator has fired, but it has not triggered the main charge.
Having second thoughts about your connection?
No, not at all, Chief.
So you definitely connected in?
Yes, Chief. It's definitely disappointing. Yeah, for sure. But, no, these things happen and just have to go and see where the problem was and do a better job next time. I suppose that's why we're here, training and learning, and if there's something that we need to fix up, something we need to do a little bit better, then yeah, we'll work on that for sure.
A staff investigation later on discovered that a kink in the main line was responsible for the failure.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The emphasis on the men's physical fitness is never relaxed. Before each meal, the trainees are required to do 15 chin-ups.
The purpose of doing chin-ups is for upper body strength. The various diving sets that we use weigh a lot when you're trying to pull yourself out of the water. Hence, that's why we do the heaves that we do.
It's a part of the day that trainee Gareth Foy does not particularly enjoy.
Come on, grumpy bum.
6, 4, 7. When you're going through it, you hate it. There's nothing more in this world that you dislike.
Are you getting old?
Yeah. I don't want that fucking camera in the face either.
The men are nearing the end of their stay on the island. They're tired and wet, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Just getting the sets ready. Battling against fatigue.
Everyone is keen to make amends for the recent failure.
So everything in the morning, all dive gear, if it can be prepped and ready, it'll make the time scale a lot more smoother tomorrow morning. All right, boys, crack on, eh?
They'll be graduating soon and want to finish this part of their course with a bang.
It's going to be a good day tomorrow, boys.
Given a real-life situation, you can't just clock off at 5 o'clock and say, see you later, I'll catch you again Monday morning, can you? It's something that is 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you've got to be ready to push your body to the limits and see how it reacts and handles under duress.
It's a blindingly hot day, and the men are facing one of their toughest challenges. They'll be setting a number of shells and explosive charges, and the conditions are appalling.
Dive left surface.
Dive left surface 0942.
They wouldn't be able to see their hands in front of their face. So that's just the way it is when you're stirring up the mud. It's sometimes just easier to close your eyes to take that away, just to settle your brain down, and you just go by feel.
Yeah, once you get down there, you're just sinking it straight through the mud. You'll probably feeling his way around with his fingers, he'll have it probably past his knees in mud, crawling along the bottom.
When you put them in, just see how they feel. If you're unhappy with how they feel, I want you to come back up. We may have to put a sandbag over them and get them in there properly, okay?
Yeah.
Cool?
No worries.
Righto, leaf surface, carry on to task.
This is probably the furthest extreme that you're going to get in any conditions when you're going to have to go and do these and render safe ordnance.
They've just realised that it's not as easy as you think. So it's just the way it is underwater, working underwater, particularly with demolitions. And these guys don't have a lot of experience. This is a learning curve for them. That's just the way it's going to be. So we'll see how we go.
The detonation in the student pool is scheduled to take place at night. A safety boat is deployed to make sure the area is kept clear. There's a lot of nervous tension in the bunker. The recent failure is still fresh in the men's minds.
20 seconds.
Today's dive has been particularly difficult. There's a lot of pride riding on tonight's detonation.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Bang!
Happy with that.
Shit, yeah.
About time.
After 3 weeks, the demolition phase is over. Soon the men will graduate as members of the elite clearance diver branch. But until then, they're still trainees, and there is work to be done.
We're burning the faeces to get rid of all the germs and all the rest of it.
It's my birthday today. I'm 20 and I'm stirring shit for it. It's my present from the boys.
You'd have to feel the luckiest man on earth, wouldn't you? How many people get to burn shit out, in front of their stars, and you have the water there?
Anyway, mate.
If it was always easy, then no one would bond. But when the chips are down, and everyone's getting upset, and everyone's tired, and all the rest of it, that's when people either make or break. They're the sort of times that you get, I think, on course, and that's what makes it such a special experience.
Nine months ago, 14 men began basic clearance diver course number 67. One withdrew through injury. But in what has been an exceptional year, all remaining 13 members have successfully made it to the end.
That's it, boys.
He's got you chased me for years. I would remember. I'd be kidding myself.
It's been great to do it with the younger guys, and I think it's pushed me further than what I probably would have done. When you got young blokes with the fire in their belly and the will to win, then it's sort of, you get caught up in that tailwind.
So where's the mission putting these on?
This is the badge that we'll be getting presented today, and yeah, we've already sewn a few onto our rigs and that. We're all pretty excited about it. Your badge or your rate is what you're known as or what you're known by. So most people will look at you and sort of hold some sort of respect towards you.
When we first started back at recruit school, you see the boys walking around with these on their arm, you just look at them like, oh, they must have done so much, and finally getting given one. Lots of people in the fleet look up to them as being like the most professional people in the Navy, and a bit of a rush.
The men you see before you have undergone an intensive period of training, culminating in their graduation today. They were placed under physical and mental duress through the conduct of both individual and team activities. This allowed them to demonstrate that they had the aptitude and physical and mental toughness to commence training on one of the most demanding courses in the Australian Defence Force. Seaman Sudi Foy.
It's the camaraderie and friendship that you gain, and that'd have to be the highlight for me. They're not only friends through course, they're blokes that I respect, blokes that I admire, and guys that I call friends for life.
Seaman C.D. Harrison.
It's been one of the probably the longest years of my life. It's something that I think is pretty sacred to all the boys that are already clearance divers. I don't think I've wanted something as much as I've wanted this.
Seaman C.D. Adamson.
Just proud all round. There's blood, sweat and tears the whole way. Sacrifice, pain, everything.
Congratulations, mate. Thanks a lot, well done, mate.
Now's the time for the badge to come off, boys. Oh yeah. There we go.
I know it's only something very small and insignificant to others, but there's a whole world right there. It's just who we are. It's what we are, divers. Clearance divers.